Warning, the following program contains scenes of graphic stupidity between a man and some games. Don't take anything I don't say too serious, I'm just messing around. This video should not be viewed by anyone.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Scum. Now today the game got updated, and as per usual we're going to be checking out the updates and taking a look at all the new things that have been added into the game. And we are going to start with water collection. From now on we will be able to actually collect and drink rain. All we have to do is have a viable water container like a water bottle, a juice can, maybe a canteen. I have a couple of things here that I want to try out. We can have one of these and put them in the rain and they will actually fill up. Now I am in the snowy bits for a reason, because I want to see if it works in the snowy parts. But before we check out if we can fill up our water bottles with actual snow from outside, we're gonna take a look at a new thing, because if we put a regular water bottle outside, it's gonna fill up, but it's going to fill up pretty slow. So from now on we can actually cut the water bottles in half and put them outside, and they will fill up faster with water. So we have ourselves a knife here, and if we press F on the water bottle, we can actually cut it in half by crafting water bottle rain collector. So if we do this, it's going to be cut in half, and we're going to be able to put it outside and get some water, hopefully. So let's see how this actually looks. And there we go, the bottle has been cut in half. Now I have a couple other things here that I want to try. Let's see if it works with the soda. Soda does not work. The canteen does not work, and this thing does not work. Okay, so it's just with the water bottles, and probably the big juice one as well. So we can actually have this, ooh, and put it outside. And now that it is snowing, let's actually see if this is going to fill up, which I don't think so. We can check. It's empty. Okay, let's just leave it for a little bit. And we're gonna come in here, and we're actually going to take a look at an improvised raincoat water collector that we can craft now. Now we talked about this before, and a lot of you guys suggested that we're going to need an actual raincoat in order to craft it, and you were right. Hey, look at this. We can actually craft a can water collector, but I believe it has to be empty. So let me actually check this out. So if you pick up this and we drink it all, so if the can is actually empty, we can not do it. What? We can fill it with water, but we cannot cut it in half. But over here, it actually says that we can craft one. That's weird. And from the pet bottle as well. And this is the improvised container for collecting rain. It requires a couple of things like jerry cans, a raincoat, metal pipes, some hoses, some duct tape, and a kitchen knife. Oh my god, and it actually works. It works in the snow. We can fill up our containers in the snowy bits as well. And this is the improvised water collector. It actually holds like 30 liters. That's the capacity of this thing. It's huge. But when it comes to these, right, we can fill them up, but if we put them in our inventory, or if you put them in our hands, they are going to spill. So what we can do, we can actually transfer the water into one of these. So if I have the jerry can, for example, we can fill this up with water from the water bottle container or from the improvised raincoat collector as well. But if we put this simply in our inventory, this will spill. It's now at 0 because it spilled. Same thing if we put it in our hand. There we go. So it actually works with snow as well. Pretty cool. We also have ourselves a new drunk kind of what do we call this? A new drunk effect, I guess. A new drunken effect. So when you drink a lot or a little, this is going to be, our vision is going to be all blurred out. Now when it comes to shoes and walking without shoes, there are going to be a couple of consequences, because we will now have feet abrasions. So if you walk with our shoes on, we're going to get hurt. Also, our shoes are going to deteriorate. That's a hard word. Deteriorate depending on the terrain that we walk on the weight that we're carrying, and whether or not we're running or jogging, walking, what have you. So movement speed, carry weight, terrain difficulty will influence how much abrasions we will get and how much our shoes are going to decay. Also being wet is going to affect our shoes as well. For abrasions, they come with symptoms as pain and bleeding. Bleeding starts with category 2, which is pretty crazy. The pain will reduce our walking speed, of course, but we can of course deal with it if we have some painkillers, and they pretty much we treat them as any other wound so far. Alright, moving on to guns. Now, when it comes to loading up our magazines, in the past we could just drag the bullets over the magazine and the magazine will instantly load up. But we cannot do that anymore. If I do this, if we do this, the magazine actually goes into our hand and we have to manually reload the magazine. And the speed at which the magazine is going to be reloaded depends on a couple of attributes. When it comes to our dexterity, when it comes to our rifle skill or handgun skill, depending on what we are reloading. We can cancel this with escape, but there we go. We can't actually instantly reload our mags anymore. We actually have to do it pretty much by hand. Also, the magazine icon, I guess, has been changed as well. So we have some new images for the mags and we now have to manually load up our mags. I don't know why my guy sits down when doing this. And we cannot actually move whilst doing it. I cannot move. Cannot move at all. And not only we have to reload our magazines by hand, but we can now also disassemble our weapons. We will need a toolbox, and if we press F on our gun, we can actually disassemble it. What this means is that if we disassemble an AK, we can fix up another AK with the parts that we got of this AK. But we cannot fix up a different weapon. So for example, if we disassemble an AK, we cannot repair an M16, for example, with the parts that we got of the AK. Now let me see if we actually need anything else to repair this. Alright, so we only have the repair parts, the weapon parts. Let's see if it works without anything else. So we can actually... Hold on, do we need the toolbox in order to repair it? Let's actually do this. And just see if we actually need a toolbox or it just works with the spare parts here that we... Oh, we can actually repair it just with those. Alright, so if we find an AK, we can fix another AK with the parts that we found of this. We don't need like a gun cleaning kit. That's pretty cool. So if we disassemble an M9 pretty much, we can repair another M9 with it. Right, so we have two M9s. We cannot disassemble it because we don't have the toolbox. So with the toolbox, and that's about it, we can disassemble guns and repair their copy of them. So we can't repair the AK with M9 parts, and we cannot repair the M9 with AK parts. We can only repair the AK with AK parts, the M9 with M9 parts, and so on and so forth. And there we have it. That's pretty much it for this update. We have the new rain collector that we can drink out of. We have a new drunkard effect, I guess, and we can disassemble our weapons, and we also have to manually load in our guns here. When it comes to quality of life additions and some changes, I have seen that 9mm has been buffed up a little bit because it was terribly weak. And drinking gas is going to make us puke. But that's about it for today's update. I hope everybody enjoyed. In case you did, be sure to drop some stuff and things down below. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you in the next one with some more video games.